Happy Wednesday. Although it has not been much of a happy Wednesday for me.
Hold on. Your head is chopped off.
My head's chopped off. Should I step back?
Yes.
It's been a hectic Wednesday. So thank you all for bearing with us as we are half an hour late today. My puppy on our walk this morning stepped on something and sliced his paw open. And so we've been at the vet most of the afternoon getting him stitched. It's been rough, to say the least. Well, talk about doggy troubles.
So, doggy troubles. I don't know if everybody can see this, but my big guy here is wearing a surgical suit because he has, 30 staples in his stomach.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been there. So our puppies are our family, and they deserve medical attention too.
Yeah.
So we do get the staples out on Friday though. So.
Hallelujah! I got to change a bandage on Friday, so I don't know how many stitches Griffey ended up with, but it was enough that he's bandaged up to his elbow. He smells the sausage, so he's like ready to go. So
our plan was not what we are doing.
Right.
But we didn't have the time to do what we planned.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna let you find it because my brain's not.
Well, we have to refresh first.
Yes. So what are we doing tonight?
So I decided, since all of this hubbub, we're just gonna do breakfast for dinner.
Always a win.
It is always a win because most people have eggs in their home. So it's a quick and easy protein.
Yep.
It's a soft protein.
Yep. It's easy to eat.
Yes.
It's usually more gentle on the digestive system.
Right. And then since we're doing breakfast for dinner, and I've had super duper cravings for waffles, which actually made me buy a new waffle iron this weekend.
I love that.
That is how much I have been craving waffles.
Awesome. Okay.
So we're going to do waffles and then figure out how to blend them so that they taste really good.
Well, breakfast for dinner is like a classic comfort food for a lot of people. So,
I agree.
Hi, Suzanne. If you're on, please say hello. Anyway, so Steph and I have had a rough couple of weeks.
But you know what? It's always going to get better.
It's always going to get better.
We can climb up.
We're going to start that with waffles and eggs and sausage.
Yes, so also had sausage.
Did you hear that? My stomach just said, yes, we are.
So you're hungry.
I'm hungry. I also brought Kodiak cakes because I want to talk about mixes when we get there. So
yes.
Where do you want to start?
Well, I already have the sausage done. So it's just breakfast sausage patties. I don't think that these are going to blend super smooth.
We'll try it and see how
But
it goes.
we're going to try it.
Okay.
I just happen to have them, so...
This smells delightful.
Doesn't it?
Yep. So this is Krusty's Light and Crispy Belgian Waffle Mix. So I had Kodiak cakes at my house, so I brought these because we were talking about in the membership group recently. Someone had mentioned it, and I am a huge fan because these are already high protein. So you can always add extra protein to something like this with your protein powder. You typically just need a little more liquid because it does make it a little drier if you add the protein to it.
And you can add the flavored protein powders to it also if you'd like
100%.
Vanilla or salted caramel. I don't have salted caramel right now. I just have vanilla, and I'm not as pleased with the vanilla flavor. But
okay. So breakfast protein is the place to start.
Right.
I had this conversation multiple times today. Who knew we were going to be doing it tonight? Perfect.
So if you're doing it at breakfast, the protein is vital, 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 because you want to start your day with protein.
Yeah.
I have the waffle iron heating up.
Okay.
So I have plenty of eggs. We can scramble eggs. We can fry eggs.
I think we should do both. Yeah.
We can do both.
Our scrambled egg video that we have on YouTube
Yeah.
is the most popular video of all the hundreds that we have. So I think it would be great for all of you to see it.
Yeah.
in
I also
real
have
time.
boiled eggs. Because I've got a few eggs around this place.
You have more eggs than anybody I know. They're good protein, and like I said, they're easier on the digestive system as long as you're not allergic, of course. So, do we want to do fried eggs first and then scrambled eggs second? What do you think?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the trick for eggs?
For fried eggs or for scrambled eggs?
Both.
Or for...
So I guess temperature-wise, where do we start? How do you cook your eggs?
So it depends. So
Okay.
because with fried eggs, typically for most people, you want your skillet hot because the edge, a lot of people like their edges crispy.
Right.
But some people don't like those crispy edges.
Some
And
do
then
not.
you don't want a super hot skillet.
Right.
Because then you'll get the crispy edges.
And if you go to a super fancy restaurant for brunch, they do everything low and slow, so you don't get crispy edges.
Right. So,
Oil
we're
is a
going
must.
to...
Even if you have a non-stick pan, you need to put oil in your pan. Whether it's olive oil, avocado oil, pan spray,
Right.
you need to put some sort of barrier down so it makes it easier so it doesn't stick. Yeah.
So my kids, when they were little, did not like the crispy edges. So I learned to make it without the crispy edges.
That's cute. I love that.
But since we're going to quite likely puree these,
It may not matter.
it may not matter.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I don't have a super hot pan. It's not giving me that sizzle
Yep.
along the edge, which is probably good for a dysphagia soft. I'll just hold it.
Okay. And then, of course, we want to season in layers, right? If you're joining, please say hello. Sorry, we're a little bit late today. Hi, Kara. We're making breakfast for dinner. So, 2 eggs.
2 eggs, over hard, over easy,
I'm going to say
sunny side up,
over medium.
over medium. Deal.
Sausage. So Stephanie cooked the sausage and then she added a little bit of water to the pan to keep it moist here. Kara says, my favorite. Yeah, I know. Breakfast for dinner. What's better than that?
Is this on? Oh,
It was just on low.
okay, yeah. Okay,
Yep.
we're getting there.
Okay.
Oh,
Might need that.
Yeah.
Might not. So at this point, they're not getting any color yet. I just let them sit. We're just gonna let them sit. Stephanie's moving them to one side of the pan though, so it'll be easier to flip them when the time comes. And I used to train people to cook eggs when I was working in restaurants back in the day. And I would have them start with a small skillet like this, and you start with a piece of bread in your skillet, and you just practice flipping it. And then when you get really good at that, then you start flipping your eggs. Now, if you're pureeing them, does it matter? Maybe, maybe not. It's up to you and how you want to do it.
if it's going to be over hard, it doesn't matter. You just break those yolks and
flip them.
any
Yep.
old way you can.
Yep. Or you flip them real hard and break the yolks when you flip them over. Hi, ladies. Karen says, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us late this evening. All right.
Okay, so eggs are on.
Okay.
So my waffle iron is ready.
Okay.
Woo!
I'll bring you some batter.
Bring me some batter.
Okay. I'm excited about this. Okay. So I'm going to show them what our pan looks like here. So the whites are still clear on the top, but they're starting to get white around the bottom. So we can just loosen that just a little bit. We don't want to loosen it too much. If you want your eggs over easy or over medium, you can always stretch the side a little bit and get some of that white in there, so that this is how we used to do sunny side up as well. So all the white got cooked, but the yolk stayed. So just one of my egg tricks that I like to share with people.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Let those continue. Okay, I'm gonna grab some blenders for us.
Okay, I have them plugged in.
Looks like
one's ready.
One's ready.
Let's start with that one.
All right.
Good. All right, we do have 2 crazy flies that I can't seem
To catch.
to get rid of.
Okay.
So that's why I'm covering everything
Yeah.
as we go.
Perfect. And I don't really want to, it's on your computer. I don't really want to try to get it while it's there. Okay. So, when we're talking breakfast and we're talking dysphagia diets, bread can be very difficult, right? So, with the waffle, we want to be very intentional about how we do this. So, we'll talk through the minced and moist, we'll talk through the soft and bite size, we'll talk through the pureed, and then of course if you need it more liquidized, we're just going to have you add extra liquid to that puree to thin it out just a little bit. Remembering that a waffle is a starch and they continue to thicken over time, so we just have to be mindful of how much liquid we need to add. And then of course if you're flavoring your waffle, you can add the flavoring into your waffle puree, or you can use it as a layer on top. I'm gonna flip these bad boys. Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay, see, you wanna get them moving in the pan a little bit. And then we're just gonna flip them over right like that. Okay. And then, I can't believe I didn't break that yolk.
Nice job.
Thanks. So, if you want them more over easy, wow, that was fast.
It's an amazing waffle
Wow.
iron. And they're crispy too. Come taste it.
Okay, I'm gonna turn this off and let the carryover heat of the pan finish cooking the eggs so that we don't overcook them. We want a little bit of that yolk to be soft still. It'll help it blend. Oh my goodness.
So it's soft, but it's crispy. So I think it's going to puree very well.
I think it's gonna have really nice flavor when it purees, just because
Of the caramelization.
the
of it.
caramelization of it.
I agree.
But it's not dry.
Right.
So you cooked it just enough so there's still moisture in there. Can't have too many blenders. I agree. I think Stephanie and I, between the two of us, have like 10 blenders. Or rather, Dysphagia Duo has 10 blenders.
This is true.
Okay. So this is going to be good. And then, of course, Steph has some maple syrup. If you want on your waffle, you can do peanut butter. In the puree, you can do peanut butter on the top. If you just heat it up and thin it out with a little bit of milk or something, you can get it nice and thin so it's not super thick. If you want to do jam of any kind, or oh yeah, look how soft that is still. You can see that yolk still has a little bit of, yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So, how are we going to do this? Very carefully.
You want to do the soft and bite size and the minced and moist of it?
Yeah. Let's definitely start there. Okay. So, we always recommend adding butter because that's going to help with A, the flavor, B, if you need calories, it adds calories, and C, it's going to help it blend a little bit smoother for everything. Okay.
We have plenty of butter.
Okay. So, I'm just going to get it nice and...
I don't want to show you how I put butter on mine.
Are you a little bit more liberal with your butter?
Probably a lot more liberal.
Liberal with your butter.
I like the butter on it, the melted butter on it, better than the syrup.
There's no wrong way.
But a good maple syrup is very important
I agree.
in small amounts.
Okay,
Like-
so do you want to...
No.
Do you want to...
No. I don't want to show people how much butter I put on mine.
I love this. Okay.
They would judge me.
In the best way. Because I'll tell you what, most of them are thinking the same thing, that they want, that's what they want to. Okay, but here's the thing. If you have dysphagia and you're having trouble with getting enough calories in, butter is your friend. Butter's your friend.
Well,
Okay.
and you know what? Today was a day that was crazy. Today is a day that we need some butter because we burned, you particularly,
I
burned a lot of calories today.
I cried a lot of calories up today. I'm not even going to lie. I called both my parents on the way here and
Eat
cried.
the butter. Eat the butter.
Eat the butter. Amen to that. Okay. All right, so we're going to do... I'm just going to pour some syrup on here. Trust me, I want to slather it on too. Yes. I agree.
Karen, I know. Me and butter, we get along.
I always tell people, you can always add more, right?
True that.
You can always add more.
I'm going to go ahead and make this last one just because.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan. Okay.
We can just
so,
eat it.
syrup, like I said, you can always add more syrup if you want to. And this waffle is nice and soft. I'm really impressed. Even though it's a little bit crispy, it should... I'd have to go get our little cutting board to make sure my sizing is exactly right, but we're just going to go some nice little beautiful pieces here for our soft and bite-sized. So soft and bite-sized, you can get there with a fork and knife easily for just about any food.
Yes.
So for a child, it's a little bit smaller, but for an adult, how do you feel about that?
I feel good about it. Now, so last night we had our first ever dysphagia dinner party.
We did.
And one of the people that were there, one of her concerns is bread.
Yep.
So we observed it. We saw some of the problem that happened because of it. Mm-hmm. So you can put more syrup. That's going to make it more moist.
Yep.
But for some people, too much syrup just changes the flavor. Like, I don't want too much syrup.
You don't want it too sweet.
Right. So what I recommended to her is to take a little bit of milk, pour it in the plate, in the bowl, and just let some of that milk absorb into your bread or your waffle or your muffin or whatever it may be.
Let's do it.
And that adds moisture without adding all of the sweetness.
Okay.
So I'm just going to put a little bit.
That was a quarter of our waffle. And literally, she put this much just in there.
Probably like a tablespoon
So
of milk.
now-
And we're just going to let that soak in.
Yep.
And that's going to add the moisture that will really benefit to help maintain that ball of food in your mouth without the crumbs.
So this is for anyone particularly that is on a soft and bite size that can have bread, which is a lot of people, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's just those little crumblies that...
Okay, so as you can see, it has soaked up all of that milk. So now the milk is in that waffle. So that's
And you
perfect.
haven't lost the flavor of the waffle
Right.
or the butter or the syrup. How is it?
It's delightful. It's fairly moist like this, but I would suspect, and as you can see, it's not even dripping out. So
No,
there was just enough.
It's just enough to make it like a little more sponge cakey.
It's there's less milk in this than there is in a dulce de leche cake. Have you ever had one before?
Yep.
It's the Mexican cake that they pour the sweet milk in. And when you cut it, it like oozes out because they put so much in. This doesn't even have that much in there. Okay.
And it's good. It tastes, you still get that.
Yeah.
There's something about the texture of a waffle that I love. Just that crispness.
Okay. I'm going to just tear this one up a little bit
Okay.
and just put it in here so we can...
With the butter.
So I have a little more, and it's got syrup on it too.
butter and syrup.
Yep.
And I'm going to keep eating. Oh, shoot.
Okay.
I got to take this one off.
That one might be a little crispier.
Well,
That's okay. Okay.
it is.
So I'm going to cut this one a little bit more too so that everyone can see where we're at here. I like this talk about the IDDSI food levels because it's a little crunchier, but it looks pretty good. So, okay. So now let's talk minced and moist with this. Hi, Katie Lynn. Okay, so I should put it down because I don't trust myself to not drop it at this point.
So just minced and moist, as long as you can mash it through the tines of a fork.
Yep.
It is minced and moist.
Yep. So this now is minced and moist. This is going to take you a little bit longer, but that's okay. Take the time.
You could put it in a little food processor, and it would kind of mush it up.
I would add a little bit of the liquid to your food processor though to kind of help it. So it might get more towards the pureed, but more processed in this way is not always a bad thing. Because a lot of times you can go down and that's safer for most people. Okay.
So minced and moist, there it is. You can add
More syrup.
more syrup. You can add more butter. You can add a little milk and just let the milk soak it up like we did these pieces.
Which,
Let's see. See, there's milk in this.
oh yeah, it's super soft. I bet if I squeezed it, it would drip. Okay, let's puree a little bit. So with the puree, I'm gonna blend it first and see.
Break it into smaller pieces.
Yeah, and then we'll add the milk to it. Okay, so power on. See if I can be patient enough for this right now. There we go. Okay, so this gets it to minced and moist texture
Oh,
also
perfectly.
without the milk. That's pretty great.
It is.
Okay, you want to hit me with a little bit of milk there, sister?
Yes. After I eat my
And then we'll do eggs next. Yeah.
about a tablespoon,
Yep. So, not much.
maybe a tablespoon and a half.
We might need more, like I said. Starches of any kind soak up. Yep. A little bit more. And this might be one that you just need to blend it this far and then add a little more milk if you can handle a little more texture. If you need it super smooth, you have to blend it a little more cohesively. But if you can handle a puree with lots of texture, getting it to where I just had it, and then putting it in a bowl with a little bit more milk may get it to that pureed texture. Okay.
I think that probably if you
Stir.
I don't think there's enough liquid for it to get to. Darn flies.
I know. They're everywhere right now. Okay.
A little more.
Yeah, please.
Try that. It may just be too small amount.
It might be. And this wasn't a whole waffle, remember? This was
Just
about
a part.
half a waffle. Maybe a little less than half.
We have enough waffles if you want to add more.
Okay. Okay. So, what's your favorite breakfast food? Everyone who's on right now, please drop in the comments what your favorite breakfast food is. I think we're pretty much there.
Waffles. Oh, yeah, that's it. Let's put it in one of these.
Put it in a bowl. And the other thing with any starch is you don't want to over blend it because then it kind of turns to glue. So it's like with potatoes. You don't want to blend them too far, but you want to make sure they're...
Avocado toast, stuffed French toast. What?
I think you could do a really good blended stuffed French toast. I think that's possible.
Yes, you could.
Add it to the list. Good?
Yes. It's smooth. It doesn't, I mean, it still has a little bit of texture. I think if you added more milk or even cream.
The extra fat in there.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn smooth though.
It's smooth, but you can still feel
A little bit.
it's a soft texture. It's not like a hard texture.
Okay. And it's just a little bit sweet. Biscuits and gravy is a close second.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you there.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I want to save that. Oh, I want that in there.
To be honest, cereal or waffles. So tired of smoothies. French toast would be good. Don't know about all the carbs. I'm telling you, get a blend like this and then put a little extra protein powder in it. You're going to get the protein if you add a little bit extra to it. It's totally doable. Totally. So, soft and bite size for our egg.
I just wanted to. Okay. So, I am going to add a little bit of warm water.
Okay.
But I'm going to salt the water a little bit so that it's not.
I like your style. Okay.
No, it might take a little while to get warm.
It's okay. We'll let it run for a minute.
Okay.
Can we cut this other one?
Yeah.
So we'll just start cutting our egg into our soft and bite-sized pieces.
This is hot. Breakfast sausage.
Okay.
I'm putting it into a plug-in one just because we're low on.
Because that's what we got. Now, if you don't mind, you can always put your sausage in the one you did your waffle in. And it's totally up to you. Okay, so here's our soft and bite-sized for our... I just did part of the egg white. Okay. And then if we leave the yolk a little bit runny, which some of you will like, some of you will not. That's okay. Do it to your preference. If we leave the yolk a little bit runny and cut this too and then mix it all together, it'll be really moist still, which is always a good thing. Okay, and then we're going to do scrambled eggs too, right?
Yes.
So this yolk is just perfectly still soft, but not runny. So it would be like a soft boiled egg is how we got that. So in this case, I think that's good because it's just going to contribute to the moisture. So when I got egg on your, I don't know how I managed that. It's just starting to run slightly. It's still... This is perfect for our soft and bite-sized.
Okay, I salted this water so that we're not just putting bland water in with our pureed egg.
You know how many people I see every day that are on a salt tablet? Because they
don't eat enough salt.
Because they don't eat enough salt, and so there's not enough in their body.
Right. Wow.
A lot.
Well, and also you could, so I just sprayed the pan. I did not use butter to fry these eggs.
Right.
So we could technically put a little bit of butter in there, would give it some flavor too.
Absolutely.
That looks yummy. Just right.
Okay. so. Soft and bite-sized for our egg.
It smells like egg. It's
I hope
thin.
so. It's thin. So
Let's put a little more.
if you want it thickened a little bit, you can always add a bit of your waffle.
You could. Some people need it thin.
They do. For those that need it thin, this is perfect. I don't remember whose fork was whose. My brain can't figure that out.
It's fine.
Yeah, our doctors keep telling us to have low sodium foods to reduce blood pressure. Then when we do, we have low sodium. So there's more research coming out now, and a lot of it is showing that sodium for blood pressure is not effective like we thought it was. It's more about blood sugar management than it is about salt in your diet, because you need salt.
Super smooth.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
Super perfect.
Spoon?
Yeah.
Mine has waffle on it still.
It's okay.
It'll be delicious together.
Oh, it's so smooth.
It's like egg sauce.
It's good.
It is good.
You know, I am with my pureed food.
You were meant to be a speech therapist
I know.
that specializes in swallowing disorders. Yeah. And if you need a little, you can always put this on your waffle too. Okay.
That is true.
So
All
let's
right.
do some sausage. And I'm gonna do minced and moist on this egg. Because eggs turn to minced and moist better than almost anything.
You can do that with boiled eggs.
Also, yeah, boiled eggs are easy to get to minced and moist.
Sorry, this one's louder.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for those of you that heard that without my warning the first time.
We forgot that one was really loud. All right. Fried egg, minced and moist. So if you get the edges crispy, this is not going to get all the way to minced and moist like you want it. But if you do it more of a soft fried egg, it will absolutely get there. So that's our minced and moist.
Ooh,
That looks hot.
it's not that hot. It's just messy. That's why we switched over to the others.
Yes. Okay. Blood sugar management's another class.
That's actually
But yes.
looking fairly smooth.
Getting enough protein, getting enough fiber, going down on carb intake. I like to tell people to get the same amount of grams of carbs as you get protein per meal. And that helps a lot of people. And then making sure you're getting enough fiber spread out throughout the day. So for women, you need 30 grams of fiber a day. For men, you need closer to 40 grams of fiber a day, which is a lot. When you don't eat a ton of fiber, it's a lot. So I often recommend supplements like Benefiber, Acacia, Inulin, Metamucil, but not necessarily for anyone that has a swallowing issue because, it thickens and that cannot be not safe.
Right.
The flavor of that is so good. It's just got texture to it.
It's and it's not going to get super smooth by nature of what it is.
But what if we take a little bit of this
Yes.
and a little bit of this,
Yes. That will.
help it smooth out.
It will.
Because I'm actually impressed with how smooth that did get. And it's going to taste really good. going to be like maple sausage.
It is. Oh, that's good. It's kind of like those pancakes, like the pancake sandwiches that have the maple syrup
At
in
McDonald's.
the. Yes. McGriddle.
McGriddle. There you go. Yeah. So, try out some different things.
Yeah. So scrambled.
Yeah, scrambled. So, we need to get a bowl. So I love scrambled eggs. Okay.
Do your magic.
My magic. I'm going to use some of that salted water you got there too.
Good.
Okay, so when you're scrambling eggs, if you want to get them light and fluffy, thank you. Start with scrambling. And I know you guys are like, I know how to scramble eggs. Thank you very much. So some people add milk to theirs. I don't add milk to mine because they don't get as fluffy with the milk. So I like a little bit of water, just a splash though. And then we're gonna whip that water. Water helps get more air into the egg and they get fluffier this way. So, I'm gonna turn this pan on. I'm gonna turn it on like right before between 2 and 4. Okay. Just get these eggs nice and super whipped.
So minced and moist. Soft and bite size. So this sausage, I probably cooked it a little too much. It's a little crispy.
So don't cook it that much at home.
Right.
Okay.
It is bite size, but it's not necessarily soft because I overcooked it. But for the minced, you could put syrup on it.
And I think if you put it in here dry, like if you took these pieces and put it in here in a clean one. Hi, Mama. I was hoping you would hop on. If you put your sausage in your clean blender dry, like this, with your pieces, and blitzed it, it'll get to that ground consistency. And then you just need to add maple syrup or some of your pureed something else. And it will get to that minced and moist super easy.
I kind of like it crispy.
I'm really surprised at how
smooth it got.
smooth it got in your, what is that? It's a Ninja? And then when we added the waffle to it, it's much easier to manage. Yeah.
It doesn't fall apart in your
I
mouth.
think I've heard you call it piecemeal before, right?
That's exactly what it's called.
Okay. I learned something. The fact that my brain works today is amazing.
So proud of you.
All right. Thanks, friend. Couldn't have done it without you. Okay. I thought I was going to make it here by 5:30 picking my dog up from the vet, and she's like, you're not going to make it. Okay. So thank you all for tuning in a little late. So I'm just getting my oil spread around the pan. And then I'm going to turn it down all the way to low. You can hear it a little bit. I'm hoping my microphone picked that up.
A little bit of a crackle.
Did anyone hear that? Okay, and then I'm going to season. So, pepper. She already had salt in the water, so I'm going to wait to salt. Okay. And then it's going to start to cook around the edges. So as that happens, I'm just going to pull it towards the middle and let it fill in. This is on low heat. Always.
You always want to cook scrambled eggs on low heat and just give it the time.
Yep.
I never hear things. She said I never hear things. Katie
That's
Lynn.
very rude of me. Sorry. I hear you. I hear you, sister.
Oh.
They're everywhere, I know.
And with all this food out,
I know. They're super happy about it too. Okay, so I take my spatula around the edges, and then I'm gonna, so now I pulled all the way to one side, and it's almost done, because not much is running. So that's not a bad thing. All right. So then push it all to that side, and I'm gonna flip it over a little bit. So you can see it's still super moist. We want it cooked a little bit longer, but not too much longer. It was funny, Katie Lynn.
it will.
Someone who's deaf can make that joke.
I wasn't going to say that. But you can say that, Katie Lynn.
Yeah. I love that you're good-natured about it. Okay, so I'm gonna let this go just another minute. We want it to be just cooked.
Or just undercooked, because it's going to continue to cook
Yes, it is.
once you turn it off.
Yes, it is. So,
In case you guys haven't noticed, we are fighting flies today.
okay, so turning that off. So
Perfect.
you can see it's kind of glistening here, but it's cooked all the way through. So if I do that, you can see the little layers there, but there's no runniness. Now, French eggs are supposed to have a little bit of runniness. So for the French, I would have overcooked this. But you're going to need less moisture. Actually, you may not even need to puree this.
No, and technically scrambled eggs, because pureed is not necessarily smooth.
Not always.
Scrambled eggs, technically, if done right or well, you should, if you can tolerate texture. Now, if you can't tolerate texture, then no.
Blend it.
Then blend it. But technically, scrambled eggs are sort of at the pureed level. I'm going to grab another fork.
Okay, because I can't remember.
Well, they're just so full of,
Other eggy gunk.
right. So it's perfect for your soft and bite size. This
Yeah.
is just
You don't even have to cut it. Whatever
absolutely.
Yeah,
Go away.
yeah. I'll
It's
protect
just-
the butter right here.
Okay, thank you. So you want to try the soft and bite size?
How'd I do? Am I hired?
You're hired. You can keep cooking the eggs.
Still super moist.
Now, for the minced and moist, how long do eggs keep cooking once they're taken off the heat?
If they're steaming, they're still cooking because they will continue to lose heat or to lose moisture. So they will, I would say, like up to 5 minutes probably. Yeah, look at that minced and moist. That's perfect.
And it has so much moisture in it because she didn't cook them fast. So the slower you cook it, the more moisture it will retain, so that when you eat it, just like that.
Low and slow is the key.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Just perfectly perfect.
Cooked a lot of eggs in my day. I better be an expert at this point.
You can keep cooking eggs.
Yeah.
I'll keep cooking waffles.
Deal. Okay. So,
All right.
questions about any IDDSI level. Technically, we could do this with hash browns too. We could do it with quiche. Quiche would be super
We could
fun.
do it. We could do it quiche.
Might be a little more difficult with the crust. But
Well, we could make it crustless.
we could make it crustless.
Just make it a frittata. I do it all the time.
Okay. That's what we
So,
got.
what kind of questions do you have? So, just a recap. The day fell apart for Kat. She didn't get here till, I don't know, 4 minutes before we started.
Yep.
So, we decided to cook breakfast for dinner. Just because, you still have to eat. Even when your day starts to fall apart. So,
Steph has cooked me eggs before when it's fallen apart in the past, so take it any day of the week. Eggs are quick and easy. They're good protein. The waffle.
Well, I just wanted the waffle.
It's
Good
a
excuse for
comfort food.
waffles. Yes.
And they blend and they get to those smaller textures easy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for your patience and your kindness. And all the puppies are going to be fine.
They are.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So we'll see you guys next week.
we will.
Bye.